Alright, now I've hooked up the boost controller. I'll show you the boost control screen on the Holly. You can see here that we're calling for 12 psi of boost, doing it in a, not doing dome pressure control. On this tune we can do with that wastegate spring that's in there, pretty easily can do a map control where it's just doing it off of dome control or dome pressure and manifold pressure. Now typically in race mode you'd use dome pressure only, and I talk about that in one of the Steve Tech videos also, so about the wastegate control and how the wastegates operate. So let me get this shrunk down here a little bit if I can. There we go. And we'll dyno with this one. Alright, now one thing you might want to notice too, and only because I told you that I had just done a video on dyno construction, and if you ever watch the vast majority of other people's dynos, you always see the engine rocking real hard. If you look at any one of my videos, you'll rarely, if ever, see the engine even rock or move. That's because of the way I have the whole dyno system set up and the way our drive shafts are connected. Has an input shaft, you know, a big spline input shaft versus a U-joint style shaft. So the engine is actually bolted on there solid, so it never has any room to move. So, and if you see something moving on one of my dyno videos, it's because it's making a lot of horsepower where it's actually twisting or moving the stand itself, not just rubber mounts like what most engine dynos are on. Okay, so here we see our 12 psi. I think it should, at least that's what we were calling for. So yeah, 1287 at 6800. Obviously it's coming up here because our boost curve, this is the way we built the boost curve, and then I let it just hang out there at 12 psi. That's a really good safe spot. Is it the absolute maximum horsepower you could generate possibly on pump gas with this particular combination? No, it's not. I mean, if somebody really wants to continue to go into it and, you know, lean out a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, they can. I would always recommend doing that in the car, but that's a good safe spot. Intercooled, so this thing is intercooled. Mat temperatures have been in the 100 degree range, 100 to 110, which isn't too awful bad. And that would all depend on how cool your water, how good your heat exchanger was. But this is a nice, just a good place for this in that horsepower level. So we can see 1287, 6800, 1150 foot-pounds of torque at 54. We'll go to our boost and see what boost was at. Oh, yeah, see, that thing made more. That's why. Okay, that's why we're up on that horsepower, and that thing's looking pretty good right through there. So like I said, this is definitely where I would like to see the max, definitely in that 15 psi. On pump gas and that type intercooler. But yeah, see, we're calling for 12 pounds and actually overshot some and went into there. So that would just be a correction that I'll make in the map versus dome pressure graph in the Holly, so I can make sure that that thing gets all laid out properly, and it'll correct it back down, so I'll make sure that I can match whatever I want to do. But I know that he was looking for a big horsepower number on pump gas, and that definitely is it. But you can see we're at 14 psi right through there. and it drops off down at 13.6 at 7,100. But that's, like I said, that's a pretty good deal. Then now what I'm going to show you too, I'll take the camera in there and I'll show you. Now we're going to, he also requested this, that now I'm going to save these tunes. So that those first two tunes, one's just on straight wastegate, then the next one is pump gas tune. A simple key switch right here. Bing, bing, bing. We can change this over to the next key switch tune, which I'll build, and then I will show you the results of that. So he'll be able to put this key in there, bing, turn it. Has 4 positions. We're only going to have 2 tunes for him, the big race tune and the pump gas tune. And he would be able to go, that will have the boost controller enabled, that will have everything all inside this tune, 1 key switch turn, and this thing's going to go to the next level, to your next race gas tune. So we're going to convert this thing, or I'm sorry, we're just going to put race gas in it. I'm going to build a tune, and then I'll show you the end result of with that key switch, and you would literally just be able to go click 1287 horsepower and click whatever we end up making here. It's going to be over 1500 on the next one. And let me get this all done and I'll show you the end result. Okay, now I've been working on this tune and made several pulls trying to sort out exactly what it's going to need, what exactly it takes. We do have knock sensors on this too, so I'm going to monitor all that. But obviously I put it on C16 now, and obviously it doesn't knock on anything there. C16 is a super stable fuel. But anyways, everything's all the same here. We're in that key switch 2, so the second key switch tune. So he has that first key switch, then the second key switch. That first one being pump gas and 1287. The next one, I'll show you the numbers here, and we'll see exactly what we get. Now keep in mind too, as I was talking to you about efficiencies and wastegate control and how that stuff works, like I said, I cover all that on the Steve Tech videos, but diminishing returns as we start getting outside of a real efficient spot in the map, and you'll see that here. And I'll give you a little heads up, what that whole thing was right there was I just exceeded my boost safety limit. So I'm gonna go back in there and rechange that and make sure that everything's okay, and then we'll make another hit. Here, I'll show you the actual numbers right off of there. So now we can see 1485 at 5800, and if we, oh, not wrong one. I'll show you what we were making for boost. Fit 1352 at 5800. So I mean, it was climbing up on boost hard through here when peak power and peak torque are same spot. And then obviously, like I said, you could hear it go poof, and it shut right off. That's just hitting a boost safety so we don't kill something. And I think I got something set up wrong. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, I mean, it made basically 23 pounds of boost right there, so it might be in my dome control safety limit or in that overall limit. So anyways, I'm gonna go in there, change that so we can make upwards in that boost, and we'll come back and make this next hit. All right, now on this last pull, this is gonna be no added boost. Really, that's what I wanted to be at, was in that 24, 25 pound range anyways, that kind of like a max deal. And since I'm putting a lot of pressure on the gate in order to do that, I already know that it's getting a little inefficient. Will it make more? Yeah. You can lean on this thing even harder. But that's not the point of where we're at. And also that starts getting past our stage 2 combo. So anyways, this is no change in boost. This is just tune-up, and I might share some of that stuff with you here too. Here, I'll pull it back. Maybe you can see the screen too. There you go. Well, there you can see that definitely made good horsepower. That is, I'm actually going to turn that down for them in the car. That's actually a little more than what I would like to make, especially when, you know, like a Cometic head gasket. I mean, it should be fine, but it shouldn't be a problem. But it's leaning out pretty good. Now I changed my tune-up, which might have affected the boost. We'll see here, because I mean, obviously you can see 1683 at 6900. And our last one, I made no changes to the boost control at all, and this was just with timing and with AFR ratio and cleaning up the fuel map a little bit. Did we make this change? Now sometimes that will have an effect on how much boost it actually ends up making, which it didn't. So 24 and a half pounds of boost, same number right here, 24 and a half. I'll expand that so you can see it. That's 24 and a half. So what you come up with, and which always gets me, is you know, with some people and bad mouthers in particular, you know, say, oh, you can't make that much horsepower with that combination. Like, I just did the exact same boost level, no change in boost. You've seen that back to back, and 100 horsepower just in the tune-up. And that's basically going from overly safe to safe to we could probably lean on it even more and make a little bit more, but that starts getting up there a little bit high. And so anyways, you can see that. So always keep that in mind when people run their mouths about horsepower figures and whatever. And it's yeah, you can come in, I can make a whole lot less horsepower. I could put some lame, really bad lame tune, you could say it was so safe it would whatever, but that doesn't mean that properly tuned, looking at it from an engine builder standpoint instead of a tuner standpoint, you might actually come up with something better. And that's a good indication of it right there. Not afraid to change things up and give it what it wants. So anyways, I think it's a real good piece. I think it's gonna be really cool in that 57 Chevy. I'm Steve Morris, Steve Morris Engines. Have a great day.